Exchange. There's nothing quite like that image of Christ, though, is there, Robert? Will asked. Robert was on the other side of the garbage dumpster in the parking lot behind the Dolphin restaurant. Will had come outside to have a cigarette. Robert had been cleaning. He had been picking up bottles and papers and debris and had been throwing it all into the dumpster. It had made quite a noise, and it was one of the reasons Will woke up and one of the reasons he had come out to have a cigarette. "What do you mean?" Robert asked. They could not see each other. They were sitting down on opposite sides of the garbage dumpster, their backs against it. "Well, the image, the crucifix. They're all over my house. I have to think about the crucifix. I was raised Catholic. It can't be escaped, Robert. There's something inescapable about a thing that was in your bedroom from the time you can remember, from the very beginning of your life. There is a man dying in your eyesight every day. The last thing you see before you go to bed every night. I didn't see a crucifix for 4 years at school, Robert. 4 years. And now I have to see them every day." Will threw his half-smoked cigarette away. It tasted horrible. He sat silent for a moment. Robert read from his Bible by lamplight. Will spoke again. "It's one of the great images of all time. I think that the Bible might be the first tabloid story. For sure, the first. The first tabloid story is a homicide. The Gospels are the forensic evidence of a murder case. Behave in this way and you will be murdered." "It's like a detective story," Robert said. "It's like a mystery. They want us to solve the murder. Who killed Jesus?" "Agreed," Will said, "and that would account for the phenomenal economic success of the Bible. I don't think there's been a better-selling book in the world. The mystery of it sells. Who killed Jesus? We know who killed Jesus, Robert. Market forces killed Jesus. It makes you think about economics. It's all economics, Robert. I'm just starting to get a handle on what I studied for 4 years, and I graduated at the top of my class. Jesus was a bad economist. He had no interest in building a home on earth. It's almost like he had contempt for the world. I mean, what was the deal in the temple? He chased out the money exchangers? How can you reach out to the merchant class if you have no respect for property? That whole temple thing, with the money lenders, that was a little radical. An economist can't over-participate in a society, although some monetary and fiscal theorists might disagree. That's why they killed Socrates, too. I don't buy that corrupting the youth crap for a minute. He disrupted the economy. For people to live together, they have to have an exchange of some sort, some sort of meaningful exchange. And that's how we define a community, an exchange. People need to give and they need to get. That's how we all feel as though we're in a community, Robert. Give and get, Robert said from the other side of the dumpster. Right, we give and we get. What Jesus was suggesting, and here's where it gets crazy, Robert. Jesus was suggesting an exchange without any commodities besides compassion. Now, compassion, to my understanding, Robert, is a highly unstable balance of passions. That's not my theory entirely. Anyways, the point is, how can compassion be a commodity? There's no way to measure it. Volume is a vital variable in any functioning economy, Robert, any economy that is maximizing its productivity. The weird thing about it, though, is the modern message of Christ, the crucifix itself, is the template for the modern world. It doesn't get any simpler than that, a crucifix. Anywhere you go in the world, if you see that cross, you know it's a franchise on the Bible. You know the whole story. It's the most effective logo in the history of marketing. Any corporation that franchises is competing with the crucifix. It's in more places than McDonald's. A bright light appeared and then another. They were the two headlights of a car. And then there was a third light, a searchlight. It was a police cruiser. A door opened and closed. Will heard footsteps. "Stand up, please," a voice said. Will stood. "Do you have any identification?" "No." "Where do you live?" "There," Will said, pointing to his house across the street. "What are you doing out here?" "Nothing." "We got a call that there were bottles smashing and someone talking loudly." "Oh, that was me talking." "Who were you talking to, kid?" "My friend." "Well, who is your friend?" "Robert, he's on the other side of the dumpster." Private Constable Richard Chase went around the dumpster with his flashlight. He returned to Will. "There's nobody there, kid." "He was there just a second ago." "What's your name?" "William Tobe." "How old are you, William?" "I'm 20 years old." "Are you hearing any voices tonight, William?" No. Are you having any visions tonight, William? Tonight? No, not tonight. Are you living in a home, William? I live in that home across the street, the one I just showed you. That's the home they put you in. That's the home I live in. Here's what we need to do, Constable Chase said. You need to walk around for a few minutes, just calm down. I am calm. I know that, but just stay out here a few more minutes, then go home and go to bed. Because if I get called back here tonight, I'm going to have to take you down to the police station, and you're going to have to stay there until we get a hold of your worker. My worker? Your social worker. I don't have a worker. You don't have a worker? No. How long have you been living in the home? 43 days. 43 days? Yes, sir. Why 43 days? Why not 6 weeks or a month and a half? I was counting the days because I fasted for the first 40 days I was here. You didn't eat for 40 days? That is correct, sir. Why did you do that? Because Jesus did it, sir. Jesus? Yes, Jesus. I need you to walk around for a few more minutes and then go home, William. Do you understand? I do, sir. Good then, Chase said, and with that, he departed. Will watched the cruiser back out of the parking lot. He watched the headlights disappear around the corner, and then, as if from nowhere, Cobb was standing right beside him. What did that cunt want? He told me to stop making noise. Fuck him, Cobb said. Exactly, Will said, and he turned to look at Cobb. Have you seen Robert? Nope. Cobb spat onto the asphalt. You fasted for 40 days? End of chapter.